Wow. Why do you have a book of my people? This is my people. Why are you...
Because you gave it to me as a gift.
Oh, look. To my beautiful and patient, as in like a sick person.
You wrote patient, yes.
An understanding wife. May you understand her. I love you, John. When did I give this to you?
Must be 2005.
2005, and you're just getting into it.
That's not true.
Man, you're devouring it. It's look
what,
at
did you ask
look
me,
at the notes in it and everything.
Asking me a question?
Yeah,
Just getting into it, like you.
So besides that, you got it for a gift. Why else would you have? Are you an alcoholic?
No, I'm not.
Oh my goodness! So why would you have this? Why are you using it? It's not a trick question. It's super simple.
I know. I'm using it because it's bringing me sanity and emotional sobriety.
Because everything in there
applies to me.
And probably...
Setting aside the drink question.
You're making this difficult.
How? I just said setting aside the drink question.
That's I know. So then how do you use it? How do you use it as opposed to how somebody like me would use it?
How do I use it as opposed to... I'm using it to... for my thinking. I read it. I'm reading it line by line.
It's about alcoholics. So then how do you make it?
I'm using it about my thinking.
Okay.
My thinking.
All right.
I'm not giving you the right answer. I'm
sorry. But it's just simple. Like it's for alcoholics. So then why are you doing it if you're not alcoholic?
Because I have a problem with my thinking. Oh, I'm an adrenaline addict.
I think we all have a problem with our thinking. The language that you're
looking for.
No. I was just trying to have a conversation about a book that you're studying. It's very good. Thank you. What's the date?
The 18th.
Ooh, getting ahead of ourselves. Anyway, the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous applies to lots of people that would relate to having something physiologically happen in their body. Where if I put something in my body, I have an abnormal reaction which produces a craving for more, and then I have a mental obsession that causes me to keep going back to it. So that could be, imagine you had that happen with peanuts. You just blow up with peanuts. You don't have that mental obsession that brings you back to peanuts when you're hungry to give you ease and comfort. And so I do that with alcohol. You do that with adrenaline. People do that with food, with sex. And so the 12 steps is actually a program of action of death of self, and it's what alcohol does for us, does for me. Now I need God to do for me.
It's true.
Phone is ringing. All right.
It's true.
Anyway, that's...
I wish I had all those words to have been able to explain
the Big Book
that for
of
you.
Alcoholics Anonymous is very biblical. It has come out of the spiritual concepts of the Bible, and it's applicable to many different people. You are one. What's the date? I keep forgetting.
The 18th.
The 18th. It's your read.
Letting the good stuff happen. Before recovery, my relationships were lousy. I didn't do very well on my job. I was enmeshed in my dysfunctional family. But at least I knew what to expect. Anonymous. That's an anonymous quote. I want the second half of my life to be as good as the first half was miserable. Sometimes I'm afraid it won't be. Sometimes I'm afraid it might be. The good stuff can scare us. Change, even good change, can be frightening. In some ways, good changes can be more frightening than the hard times. The past, particularly before recovery, may have become comfortably familiar. We knew what to expect in our relationships. They were predictable. They were repeats of the same pattern, the same behaviors, the same pain over and over again. They may not have been what we wanted, but we knew what was going to happen. This is not so when we change patterns and begin recovering. We may have been fairly good at predicting events in most areas of our life. Relationships would be painful. We'd be deprived. Each year would almost be a repeat of the last. Sometimes it got a little worse, sometimes it got a little better, but the change wasn't drastic, not until the moment we began recovery. Then things changed, and the further we progress in this miraculous program, the further we and our circumstances change. We begin to explore uncharted territory. things get good. They do get better all the time. We begin to become successful in life, in work, in love. One day at a time, the good stuff begins to happen and the misery dissipates. We no longer want to be a victim of life. We've learned to avoid unnecessary crisis and trauma. Life gets good. How do I handle the good stuff, said one woman. It's harder and more foreign than the pain and tragedy. The same way we handled the difficult and the painful experiences, I replied, one day at a time. Today, God, help me let go of my need to be in pain and crisis. Help me move as swiftly as possible through sad feelings and problems. Help me find my base and balance for peace, joy, and gratitude. Help me work as hard at accepting what's good as I have worked in the past at accepting the painful and the difficult.
Good stuff does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let the good times roll.
Mm-hmm. Comments?
I would be reflecting on the time that it takes for the good stuff to happen. And I think so many, in my experience, guys get stuck on, and I remember being there, like being sober and being drunk are very similar. Like there's not a big difference, and I may as well just get drunk, but I'm not going to today. And I remember having that conversation with my head, like I'm so frustrated with life, there's so much responsibility, like I just need a break. I need to drown this because this is too hard. And so there's that time of the good stuff happening. But I think every morning we can either be miserable and act like we're hungover, or we can like just thank God and go like, it's a beautiful day out. I'm not hungover. I don't have to act like I am. I don't have to be ungrateful. I can be happy, joyous, and be grateful for what I do have, and then just do what I need to do for today. So I think that time period, and not to put a damper on people's lives or anything, but like it can be a big battle for 2 years. Like the sun might not be shining for super bright, but at least you're not drowning in the ocean.
Yes.
And it's like, yeah, there might be clouds and there might be rain, but you're not in the middle of the ocean drowning.
Right. And
so there's a time frame of, and I know for guys that wrote the big book, like even the mental obsession lifted for one of them after 2 years. And I probably have that same experience after about 1.5 years, 2 years of like that contemplating every day, is this really worth it? Like, is the effort that I have to put in? It's a free gift, but it required all of my effort, just like alcohol required all my effort. It wasn't free. So yeah, good stuff does happen. There is a new life.
That's good. I think that's true. Like, we can be comfortably familiar with like negative patterns, with negative stuff, and then changing to positive patterns, or having like the absence of calamity, the absence of chaos, the absence of crisis and trauma can feel like really uncomfortable.
Well, and sometimes like that's the roller coaster ride that we long for, that we love, that we're used to, and then you get this boring life. But it's like that's the perception.
That's the perception. Yeah.
It's not boring. It's a fun life with purpose.
Right. Yeah, and I think it even like applies even for the like little interaction that we have all the time, like at the beginning of this video, just little uncomfortable. Each of us are probably irritated at the other, and then trying to like change that pattern. And so for me, I have to like, I like the line of avoiding unnecessary crisis and trauma, and so I have to like be able to like let it go and not be frustrated that I can't come up with the right thing to say to you. You're like, and so I'm like, then it, the thought cycle that happens in my head is like, I'm dumb and I'm not smart enough, and why can't I just be different, and like, why do I always bother him, and like, I just shouldn't do this video, like this is too embarrassing, and I keep saying the wrong things. And so those defeatist like thought cycles that happen in my head, if I let them, they just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it'll last like the rest of the day. And then I'm reacting to you in a way that I'm like not in the past wouldn't even be aware of, like why I'm reacting to you tonight or later this afternoon at, you know, something that seems like super insignificant, and you'll be saying like, what's wrong with you? And I'll be saying nothing, when really there's like this thing that's left inside of me telling me I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. You did it again. You're so dumb. You know, like this thought cycle that happens. And so for me, I think a big part of it is just letting it be, you know, just being able to say like, yeah, I have character defects that I don't even know what they are yet. And they just, what'll be will be right now. And tomorrow will be a new day, and our next interaction can be different. And
well, the good news is for anybody watching, we set the bar low, which is probably refreshing for everyone. It's like, man, why wouldn't they sort some stuff out before they press play?
Well, and the big thing is, I think the big thing for me is replacing those thought cycles with like truth, and you know, and replacing like, instead of focusing on like what I didn't say and what I should have said, I try to focus on like what you did say, which was really good, and just hear like, yeah, that's really good stuff. And like, it's not what came to my mind for me to say, but what you had to say was really good. And so I just can, yeah. And I do think, you know, things for us are getting better all the time. And I mean, the way that we interacted with each other 10 years ago is entirely different than the way that we interact with each other.
Thank goodness.
Today.
Somebody be in jail. Yeah, watch and pray every day. Watch and pray. Like, I think we have to get up in the morning and watch, like, am I full of fear right now? Am I insecure? What's my emotional sobriety at?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like, waking up, even going, like, recognizing, because I know, like, even the first couple of years of getting sober, like, I was so used to waking up hungover.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, it's like, oh, let's get on the ground, let's go, 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 and you work it out of your body, you know, by break time.
Mm-hmm.
But am I carrying that into? I remember you, like, even eating. I bothered you while I ate, because I would eat it and leave. Like, okay, we're done eating now, let's go. Like, there's something better to do. They're like, we got it in us, and now let's go. So I think, I think it's a process. It's a journey with no destination, and like there's no end to it. Like, there's no finality to it. So I think you come in and heal and grow together, and good stuff does happen.
It does.
Good stuff happens every day if we're open to it.
Yeah.
Give us eyes to see. Watch and pray. Rock back and forth. All right.
Have a good day.
Have a blessed day. Have a great weekend. Like, share, copy, paste.
Maybe don't
Check
share
my
this
spelling.
one. Maybe share an old one.
And then we'll put you in the draw for Monday. People
Yes.
are like winning T-shirts all over the country.
No, that was in a different country.
That was in a different
Somebody from a different country won a shirt.